Since we don't want to get caught, we plan ahead, are we crazy or what? We plan ahead, are we crazy or what?
Okay, today we are going to be talking about goals. So if I'm just showing up in your feed and you have no idea who I am, my name is Jennifer Osich, and I am the author of the Preparedness Planner series and also the new From Seed to Pantry planner for 2019. And I'm also the lead teacher at Self-Reliance School. So welcome. I'm so glad that you are here with me. We are doing a series on mindset, setting goals, and habits right here for the new year. So we're right in the middle of this series, and I will put a link in the comments to our live that we did on mindset. Or Bill will do that in a minute. Okay. So let's talk about goals, right? Do you have any goals for 2019? Have you set any goals? If you have, let me know in the comments what those are, right? As it pertains to growing, cooking, and preserving. Hey, Carolyn, I'm so glad you could make it. Hey, Lori, I'm so thrilled you guys are here. Okay, so what are your goals for growing, cooking, and preserving in 2019? Let me know what those are. Is it just to have a garden? Is it to take a bite out of that grocery bill? Maybe produce 20%, maybe 30%, maybe even 50% of your groceries with your garden? Is it just to fill up your pantry? Maybe with garden harvest, maybe not, just with sales and whatnot. Let me know what your goals are in the comments. Carolyn says, goals would like to learn on sourdough breads. That's a great one for cooking. Okay. And Bill just put in there the other live that we did on mindset. So if you guys want to go back and look at that, you can, but wait till this one is over, right? Okay. Candy says, growing more than 3 items in the garden this year. I like that. That's good. Okay. And Deborah says, winter sowing, experimenting in the greenhouse, preserving citrus by dehydrating and canning, learning to use the pressure cooker and pressure canner. I love that. Okay. And Wendy says, a more productive garden and better weed control. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So you guys have been doing some goal setting. So that's really great. Like I said, last time we talked about mindset, and really, I think a lot of people don't understand when they set goals. They don't understand that that's great just to set the goal, and it's important, and we're going to talk about why in just a second, but it's only part of it, right? Because you have to have a good mindset, and then you also have to have some good habits to get you there, right? So goals is a part of it, but it's a part, right? It's not the only thing. And I think that a lot of times when people say, whoa, what are your goals? That's just, it always rises to the top in terms of being seen as the important thing, but really it's part of this set of things that you need to do. So, okay, so we're going to talk about goals. And basically, let me just kind of define, first of all, what a goal is. I have 2 definitions that I want to read to you. Okay, so one is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. Okay, so that sounds reasonable, right? Here's another one, an observable and measurable end result having one or more objectives to be achieved within a more or less fixed time frame. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So basically, you need to have a measured result and a time frame for a goal. Okay, so that could be something like cooking from scratch for a whole year. Could be something smaller, could be for 1 week, could be for 1 month. But that's a goal, right? And it's measurable, right? and you've got the time frame. Okay, grow 20% of your groceries. We just sort of talked about that. But instead of saying, well, I'm going to save money by growing my own groceries, you want to put that measurable part on there, right? So 20%. So because that's the measurable part. Okay. So maybe you want to you have a goal of putting up all of your extra vegetables that you grow, right? Because you're going to take some hopefully and cook with them, and then the extra you'll preserve. Okay. So, but let's talk just a little bit more about what goals are. Okay, so, and I'm going to come over here. I'm trying to go back and forth. Jamie says, have an outdoor garden and learn to grow some food indoors. I love that. That's good. Okay. Hey, Cheryl, I'm so glad you could make it. Okay. So go ahead. I know I'm just going on talking about goals, but if you have set goals for this year, let me know in the comments, because I'm enjoying reading them, and I would love to know what your goals are. Okay. Sandy says, hello everyone and a happy new year. I'm not able to see the video. Can somebody please advise? Oh goodness. Hopefully you can hear it. If you can hear it, sometimes going out and then coming back in will help. Sometimes it's your internet speed with buffering. So, but that's the first thing I would try, is to go out of it and then come back in. Okay. So, like I was saying before, like all of those things are really, really nice, you know, to say, oh, well, I'm going to just save money by growing my own food. And that's good. That's a good thing to think about in your mind. But is that really a goal? Because it doesn't have something that's measurable, right? And you didn't really set a time frame for that. So when you set a goal, right, when you set those things and you have the time and the measurable aspect of it, it defines where you're going. So it's going to make it focused, right? Because you've got to measure it by these parameters that you've set out. Also, it helps you to change direction if you're kind of scattered, or if you're going in the wrong direction, right? Because if you're going this way and your goal's this way, right, setting those goals and writing them out is going to help you go down the right path. Because there are so many things out there. It's called shiny object syndrome, that we all want to pursue different things. But if you have a goal and you've set it out there, right, then hopefully you can go have some blinders on, because you're going to achieve that goal, and the other things can wait. Okay. This also helps with your mindset, because if you set the goal, then you're going to think about achieving it, and your mindset is going to be such that, again, you're going to move those other things out of the way, the shiny object syndrome. And then also setting a goal. Okay, well, you set it. Now there's a gap, right, between where you are and the goal. And so now you've got to put action steps in there. And that is one of the reasons that you would set the goal in the first place, so that you can get those action steps mapped out. Okay, so but more than anything, setting a goal helps you with your why. Because once you've set that goal, you understand what your purpose is. You understand what you want to achieve. So the goal helps you define your purpose, right? So let's just take, for instance, what we're doing here at Self-Reliance School. So this is our goal. This is our mission. I'm just going to read it to you. We're on a mission to double the home production and storage of food in 50,000 homes by 2025. So really measurable, specific, right? And here's our why. Because we believe that it can improve the health of our food system, okay? We believe it will improve your health. But most of all, we believe it will teach our children how to nourish their bodies, so together we can make the world a better place. So in short, our goal is to change the world, or our why is to change the world by achieving this goal. Okay, so setting goals really, really helps you with your why and your purpose. Okay, so let's just think about that in terms of growing, cooking, and preserving. So if you cook from scratch this year, why would you do that, right? So that you can have better health, you can live healthier. If you want to grow 20% of your groceries, why would you do that? Because you want to save money, right? So this is getting to the why of why we're doing what we're doing, right? So setting goals is really, really helpful and important when it comes to your purpose and your why. So if you want to put up all your extra vegetables and fruit that you grow, right, what would be the why for that? So that you don't have to eat food that has preservatives in it. That's your why, that's your purpose. So goals are important for those reasons. Okay, so how should you go about setting goals, right? Because we've been talking about it, but let's get to the nitty gritty of like a step-by-step on how should you do this. Okay, so the first thing you should do, I think anyway, is to sit down and really reflect on last year or the time frame that you're looking at for your goal, like in reverse, right? So if you have a goal of cooking from scratch for an entire week, well, how did last week go? Was that your goal last week? Did you achieve it? So really reflecting on what has happened in the past. Because the thing is that I think a lot of people stop setting goals because they just repeat. It's kind of like the reason people don't want us to have New Year's resolutions. It's like, well, this is the 15th year that I've made my New Year's resolution to lose weight, right? Because everybody does that every year because it's that's what you want. Well, the thing is that if you don't reflect on the reasons that it didn't happen last year, nothing's going to change. So that's the big one, is to sit down and really reflect on what has happened in the past and what are some of the things that have kept you from achieving that goal. Is it your habits? Do you have a bad attitude towards it? Is there some other obstacles in your way? So sitting down and really reflecting, because the thing is that you want to make the goal obtainable. You don't want it to be some pie in the sky thing that you're never going to be able to achieve, or anybody that's human couldn't achieve it, right? Or somebody maybe who just won the lottery, that kind of luck would achieve it. You want it to be something that you can achieve with what you have, right? So looking at the past and what has kept you from achieving that goal, or on the flip side, what has given you the power and the determination, and what has helped you succeed? What in the past has set you up for success? Because that's the kind of thing you want to repeat, right? Okay, so we talked about the next one a little bit, but I'm going to say it again, and that is to set clear goals. You don't want something that is ambiguous, like the example I just gave was, well, I want to save money by growing my own food. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good mindset, right? But that's not really a goal. You want to figure out, well, exactly how much do you want to save? And exactly how much do you want to grow? I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, right? But you need to get some sort of measurable figure there. Because with growing, cooking, and preserving, with all of it, there's going to be a little bit of wiggle room, right? So, and that's fine. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about something that you can actually measure with specific numbers, and that you can see how far you've come. Okay, and here's the next one, that this is what you need to do when you go about setting your goals. So the first one was take time to reflect. Second one was set clear goals. And the third one is to hold yourself accountable. So you can do this in a lot of different ways. You can get a buddy. That's a really good way, right? So you're talking to each other and you're keeping each other on the right path in terms of achieving your goals, because hopefully it's a buddy system type thing. You can just write them down. Sometimes that's all it takes, is if you write things down and then you go back and you're looking at that and you're revisiting it, say weekly or even monthly, and it's just a little reminder, especially for those of us who get that shiny object syndrome and want to go off into a different direction. If you're writing your goals down monthly, let's just say, and then you're revisiting that every month, and so that keeps you focused. So sometimes that's all you need, is just to write it down, or to make it public in some way. If you want to have a conversation with your family and you're saying, this is what I'm going to do this year, then that might be all it takes. So just some way to keep yourself accountable. Okay, so you may have heard of SMART goals. So it's an acronym, and I'm going to go through it because it's basically what we've talked about here. So it's SMART, S-M-A-R-T. So S, be specific, right? You have to have a specific, measurable goal. And that's the second one, measurable. So I combined those, but it has to be specific, has to be measurable. Okay, and then A, it has to be attainable. Remember, it shouldn't be some pie in the sky thing that only a superhuman person could achieve. It has to be something you could achieve. R, make it relevant. Find your purpose and your why. Because if it's something that you don't really care about, you're probably not going to do it. It's just, human nature. So it's got to be something relevant to you, important to you, that you really, really care about. And then T is time bound. So you need to have a time limit. I'm going to do this within a week, a month, a year. Okay, so that's specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and time bound. So make your goals SMART, right? Okay. So to sum up, your goals should help you define your purpose and your why. That is really the purpose, I think, of setting goals, because you have to have the mindset, and we talked about that before, and then your goals is really going to help you focus on that, your purpose and your mindset. It has to do with some of these other things too, like being measurable and time bound and all that. But really, I feel like in this set of things that you need to be successful, which includes habits as well, goals are really to help you with your why. Okay. And I'm trying to be brief. That's my word for 2019. Now, I'm kidding. I need all the words. I can't just have one. That's my problem. I need all the words. That's why I really need to be brief, right? Okay. Hey, Barbara. Okay. Barbara says, good topic for my brand new start in brand new apartment in a brand new year. Yes, that's great. Okay, Marie says, I'm learning fermentation. I currently have cranberries and sauerkraut started. Okay, and she's working in her garden. That is awesome. Okay, yes, and if you guys have questions and or you can't, like I heard before that you couldn't see or hear, sometimes you can see the replay a little bit easier depending on where you are and your internet connection. So please, if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment and let me know what you think about setting goals. Okay, so I want to talk about, so some people do say goals are overrated. Like I said, I don't think they're overrated. I think they're just pulled out from a group of things that really is the key, right? Because you have to have all of them. And so that's what gets people stuck, is they have the same goals over and over again and they don't ever reflect on why. So I think they're important in context. All right. So next week, I'm going to talk about habits. And honestly, I think that habits is the most important of the three. I mean, they're all important. You kind of have to have a little bit of all of them. But habits are the thing it's going to get you there. It is if you have the habits, even if you've got a really, really bad mindset that day, if you've got it honed in and you've got the habits, you might be grumpy and you might be, saying things under your breath, but you're going to get there. So in my opinion, habits are one of the most important, and highly underrated, because people don't talk about habits. They just talk about the goals, but we have to talk about getting there and making it there, right? Okay. And there's a book that I wanted to tell you about. If you are interested in habits and getting there, I'll mention it again next week, but I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up. So if you wanted to maybe get the book and read it, and we could talk next week. There's a new book called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. I don't have any affiliation or anything, but I just read it and love it. And I just think it speaks to what we're talking about here so well. So if you are looking for a good read for a week or so and on the subject of goals, habits, mindset, all that, grab that book, read it, and we'll talk more about it next week. If you already know your action steps, you know what you need to do, there is nothing that is unclear to you, and you just need to plan it out, I want to let you know about our new planner. This is the From Seed to Pantry 2019 planner, and it's only going to be available for not too much longer because we'll probably run out. And so I just want to hold it up, let you know I did a video about everything inside, and I will put the link in the comments. So if you're curious about what's inside, it is, there's a lot. Actually, there was too much. Brevity really needs to be my word for this year. There was too much. And what happened, you can see how thick it's pretty thick. And I want it to be usable. All of that. I want you to be able to write in it. So basically what I wound up doing is writing 2 books. So this is the one you plan with. And I'll be coming out with the other one to record in so that you can have a record of everything that you do in the garden, and then your pantry as well. But right now, this is the one we have, the one you plan with. And basically, it's going to take you really from seeds to pantry, because you start with how many jars of whatever it is you want to can, and or a measurement of how much you want to dehydrate, and then by working through some of the worksheets, it gets you down to how many seeds you need to order and or save and or pull from wherever you got your seeds. So it was a project, but I am so excited about it, and it is great if you are just beginning, especially connecting these 3 things with gardening, growing, cooking, and preserving, because there's a lot of people, a lot of websites, a lot of books out there, and they focus on just one. They don't focus on sewing the 3 together, which is what we do, right? That's just the seasons of the year. That's what our ancestors did and all that. And the way that we put cooking in here is that we actually have a menu plan for every week. So if you fill that out, you'll have a menu plan for 52 weeks, right? Anyway, so if you haven't gotten yours yet, I'm just amazed at how fast they're selling. We're trying to keep up. We're doing okay, but I just want to tell you that we will probably sell out. But I wanted to let you guys know that they are still available. Hopefully they'll be available next week too, but I can't promise. Anyway, and Bill's going to put the link in there. Guys, we don't even have... Oh, he already put it up there. He's way ahead of me. He already put, if you're on Facebook, he's got like the little banner. We don't even have a sales page up for it. We just have the order form. So you go there and you get the book. But there is a video talking about everything that's inside it There's one on YouTube and Facebook. And if he didn't put the link in there, which he probably already did because he's like way ahead of me, then I will put it in, and then you can see everything that's in there and make sure that it is for you. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. Rain says, she asked, any chance of making the planner downloadable? I will need so many more pages. I know. We do offer a generous amount of worksheets in the book. And at this time, we do not have plans to make it a digital product. So that's just, at this moment, we don't. Let's see. I'm looking for questions here. Christina says, look forward to the planner. Yes. Lori says, can't wait to get hers. Ray says she's watching the mail. Yes, they're coming. We are getting them out. We have been working. Let me tell you that, because like I said, they have been flying out the door, so to speak. So anyway, I'm excited for you guys to get them in your hands and give me feedback. Let me know how you like them. I'm excited for you guys to plan out everything. I'm obviously going to be using one this year, and I will be doing some lives on how I'm filling them out and videos, so look forward to those. So anyway, okay, so I think, are you okay with copying and taping in by me? Oh goodness. Well, like I said, we give you generous amount of worksheets, so I think you'll be okay. I really do, because I think there's enough for 100 different things that you grow. And about that many that you can, so that it's quite a few. So we thought about that because we know we have some diehard people that have a lot of land and all that. So there's generous amounts of worksheet space available in the planner. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all I have, and I will see you guys. Instagram. Like I said, I'm so sorry I could not see your comments, but I will next week. Promise. And thank you for joining me on Instagram and Facebook. And I will see you guys in the group later. Bye.